And now shifting gear from what's happened in Tamil Nadu to what's happening between two countries. That's between India and Canada. The political tension between India and Canada seems to be having a severe impact on students who want to study in Canada, particularly those from India. And we have been extensively reporting all of these. However, there's a fresh development. There's been an 86% reduction in study permits given to Indian students if you compare the last quarter of 2023 and the last quarter of 2022. Speaking about this issue and bringing out these details, in fact, the Minister of Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship of Canada has said that the relationship has really halved Canada's ability to process a lot of applications from India. Remember, this all began when Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau accused Indian agents of being involved in the murder of separatist Hardeep Singh Nijjar in June 2023 on Canadian soil. And India has made its stand extremely clear that Canada needs to act tough on anti-India forces on their soil, something that Canada has not been doing. So this diplomatic tie seems to now spiral to affect students as well. Canada's economy has gained around $16 billion from international students. And if Indians, who make up a majority of around 40% international students, decide to go to other countries because they are not being able to let in China, this could be troublesome not only for Canada but also for Indian students. Of course, a lot of ifs and buts are involved in all of this. I'm being joined right now by Manju Sharma, Senior University Guidance Counselor, BD Somani International School, as well as Nayan Parikh, who's an educationist. Thank you very much, both of you, for joining us. My first question to you, Manju Sharma, these numbers are very staggering. These are huge numbers we are talking about. Since the diplomatic ties seems to have hit a low between India and Canada, a minister is going on record to say that 86% applications from India were not cleared. These are huge numbers. Could you put this in perspective for us?
Yeah, I feel like first of all, thank you, Sneha, for inviting me for this panel discussion. And right now I'm in the UK. I visited a few universities in these days. I'm still here, visiting many universities. And I feel like, what happened geopolitically actually is influencing all these things. Otherwise, Canadian universities are welcoming. They talk to us. They talk about that, yes, these are all students are safe over there. But because this is geopolitically influential, that is how I feel that the such a decline, and it's drastic this decline which has taken place for a study visa for students. Otherwise, these are the same students, same counselors who are counseling for many years to these students, and they're applying to the universities, and universities have offered them the admission offers based on their entire portfolio and financial need requirement as well. Then why these decline, such a huge decline in visas are there? I want to ask the government of Canada.
All right.
And at
In
the
fact,
same time, universities are really facing
right.
problem as the deficit in their budget. They are really facing almost all of Ontario universities are running deficit with the support which they are not getting from the government. Steve Orsini, who heads the Council of Ontario Universities, said that the federal government has need to provide the and address this financial situation which
Okay. Let me
universities
just
are
get in
facing
introductory
with their
remarks from Nayan Parikh as well at this point. Nayan Parikh, with what is unfolding in Canada, how would you see the options that now lie before India? Is this something that is short-term? The minister in Canada believes this may not really be a short-term issue. Canada is now moving towards a policy where there may soon be caps on international students who would be visiting Canada. Looking at all of these things, what would you want to tell the students who do want to study abroad?
Sneha, I feel that Canadian option is getting limited, and I think we all knew it. The day we had a political tiff over them, we knew because I think the consulate is now only having 1/3 of its original strength. 2/3 have gone back. And I therefore feel that obviously this was to happen. And fortunately for students, I think there are options. And one option which comes to mind immediately is Australia. And I think each time that a student wanted to go out, these Canada and Australia were attractive options because they were offering job opportunities after the study was over. Canada was anyway far, I think, had a difficult climate, but because it was giving work permits immediately after the study was over, students preferred that. I feel this would be the right time for students to now consider Australia, which was in a way a second choice for many students who went out. And Australia also has a positive relationship with India. Australia is also liberal in allowing students to
Right.
work in their country. So I feel that that is a good option for students to explore.
All right, interesting. Again, back to you, Ms. Manju. Would you know, since this decision has been made, this announcement has been made by the minister, have you been able to get in touch with universities in Canada? This is the admission season, negotiations, talks would be happening, applications would be given out. Um, what's the sense you're getting from them?
In touch with all the university delegates, as well as I said in my last interview also, that the president of Huron University has recently visited and he is still in India. And we were in talks, in collaboration, and universities are welcoming. They are supporting the students and taking care of them. They are taking care of their visas also, as much as it is the hand of the universities. And they are talking with the ministers as well as the High Commission in India also. So they are supporting and they are also looking forward for the solution of this issue, because it is impacting the revenue of the universities as well. And I'm absolutely in agreement what Mr. Nayan had said, that the options are there for students. Of course, it was always like, US first, UK second, Canada third, and then Australia was coming as fourth. And Australia is welcoming, and this is the right
What are
time
your
for students to
what
think.
would you say would be the best top options now before Indian students? What would you say if you
Okay.
had to advise people?
Yes, absolutely. So they have multiple options. Like this year, even my students, those who get counseling from me, like they have open mindedly have opted, like, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, many countries in Europe, like, Italy, Spain, France, yeah, Netherlands, as well as they are applying India also, because India is also an economic growing company. And with new education policy, they see the doors are open with new age universities who are providing them liberal arts as well as, flexibility as the US education system
Right,
provide. And 4 years education is also now an option for them. So they are looking at Indian option also. So
right.
the students who were not applying earlier and was not considering India, their own country, now they are considering India also as very good option. So many countries are there where they are getting scholarship
Interesting.
opportunities
Right.
as well,
Sure.
post-study work visa, and job opportunities, which are giving them a good return on their
Good to hear
education
that. If I
investment.
can
They're
just get
looking
in.
forward for those.
All right. If I can just get in, Mr. Nayan Parikh, just the last question to you. Geopolitics is fast changing. Diplomatic aspects are changing. Immigration is becoming a huge issue in many countries. You're seeing vast changes across European countries, for that matter. And it's not just one particular country. Across the West, in several parts, one is witnessing these things. And many of these places have been top destinations for Indians who are aspiring to go abroad and study. What do you think? I mean, the top three things, if the government is listening, if educationists are listening right now, immediate responses. What really needs to change to be able to keep the bulk of Indians back in India and to be able to provide them quality education? Now, I'm not going by this assumption that everybody who's going abroad and studying in every location is getting the best of education. That's not the fact, and I understand. But if India was to offer all of these, what needs to change in India currently?
I feel, Sneha, that things which are changing and which would change further are, I think, options like Gift City. Now, Gift City is first place in India where a foreign university is allowed to open by policy So that would mean that if I want to study in Harvard Business School, I wouldn't need to go to the US. I can study in their campus, which would be open in Gift City, which is like Dubai's education city, where the universities would give the same degree and same quality of education
Right.
that they would give in their original campuses. So I think that is one thing which has happened and which is a good
Right.
option which has happened there. I think second is that we are already opening, say now we have about 20 IIMs. Now why this is done? Because if for management you have to go outside, and I would say that for fresh graduates who want to pursue management, which is called Masters in Management, Europe is the main place because Europe has the top 10 MIM options. So that would be competing with IIMs. But now that you have 20 IIMs, and plus we may have, say, 10 more soon, which
Right.
means that most of us would have options in India. So I think that from 20 now we need to move on.
Right.
We need to create more IITs, and we are already doing that, but I think we need to accelerate that. So one side we can have options of
Right.
having these foreign universities operate in India as if they are operating anywhere in the world in their home countries. So it would mean that same level of quality of education, same degree. Then IIMs and IITs which are opening up.
Right.
And third is, I think, improving relationship with some of the colleges where student would study and come back. So there are joint programs that you would do 2 terms in, say, France or in Harvard, and then come back for 1 term in India, and then you will have joint degrees. That way, our students would go there for
All
a
right,
term
we're
or
totally
two,
out
get
of
that
time.
stamp,
Thank you, Mr.
and then
Nayan,
come
for
here.
all of those detailed suggestions. Very, very important points being put forward by both Manju as well as Nayan. Thank you very much for joining us. One thing is for sure, it's an era of global where global is the new local, but the geopolitics and diplomatic aspects and so many other challenges, including demography, might just about imbalance a lot of plans, but that will also throw in several more opportunities. Thank you very much for joining us.